If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 479. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I'm Raj. They call me Hit.
And I'm Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
Oh, and we're back. Me and Selden and Raj. Call him the Hit.
Call me Hit.
That was unexpected, Hit. You took us by surprise.
Yeah, that one came out of nowhere. I don't know. Just improvising.
You're getting better at it.
Yeah.
I think.
All pro.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I gotta stop thinking about it before the show. Like, what can I do differently this time? Just let it happen, you know?
Just let it happen under pressure. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. What you say is what you say. Then one time you're gonna be like, I'm My Little Pony, and then we're gonna know you have a problem. But all right. Well, the three of us are back. We did the episode last week. We're doing it this week because we carry the brunt of this show on our shoulders. That's what
Are we on a streak right now?
Oh, we're on a streak. We're 2
weeks in a row.
Whoa. Is that like the first time this year?
No, we had ones at the beginning of the year, but this is the first time since the vacation syndrome and holidays.
We're due for a break then, right?
No way. We got next week too. We got next week.
Is it a March break?
No, it's not quite yet. But yeah, so 3 of us are back carrying the brunt of the show, and we're here for you. So, and if you're watching live and you want to talk about anything during the show, drop it in chat, and we'll try to work in the episode. So why don't we start off with, as always, mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. The Vega Brothers comments. I'm new to your podcast, but dig it. I did not discover you on Amazon, but rather through a friend who's a listener. When there's a new episode of your show, it cuts ahead of all of the other podcasts I listen to.
That's nice to hear. Who's your friend?
Now we're going to ask more people questions.
Show yourself, Vegas Bros friend.
Yeah. Let us know who your friend is. Yeah. Well, we'll give him kudos for bringing you on board. So just let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Next up, Kenjamin1 asks, regarding player customization and monetization, do you think Halo Infinite could learn something from Sea of Thieves? Having some items free, some items earned by playing, and with in-game currency, and then also having items for instant cash purchase. Are there other games that have systems you think are well done?
As the Sea of Thieves resident expert on the staff here, I would have to say, definitely, I guess. Like, my theory is that, I mean, I don't know if I've said this publicly, but like, my theory is that Microsoft's first-party studios, are following in this new way of game design structure, the way they're doing shit, and I wonder if Sea of Thieves was their first, and then now, like a prototype, and see, you know, it wasn't like an IP like Halo, where like it's very fragile, like very important. Like this Sea of Thieves was kind of like its own thing, and like and so maybe like we could take risks and start. Like test it out, because when that game came out, there was nothing to do. The people complained there wasn't enough. There was like not enough customization. Later on down the road, they introduced monetization, and like the game has been growing over the years. Like I think they're year 3 now. Plus the negative year they had of full alpha. So like the game's been up and running for 4 years, and like it has definitely grown over time. And I remember Dude I Rock famously said to me, like when the game first came out, he's like, this game's not ready, like it needs another year in the oven.
Nope.
And like at the time, I was like I didn't really understand what he meant. But then like a year later, after all the stuff they added,
Oh, it became a
I was
different
like,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this should have been the game that released. There was like way more. So I feel like Halo is doing the same thing because it only launched with two modes. Like they basically took the game, split it up,
Nope.
and um, the game's not ready. Like I feel like Halo needs another year in the oven. And then also like their customization stuff and how they monetize it, like
There's a
it's not
little
very.
off.
Yeah, it's a little off. Like they could learn some stuff from Sea of Thieves, where like in Sea of Thieves, like there's stuff that are free, there's stuff that you earn. The
Yep.
stuff that you earn, they tell you how to earn that stuff.
Yep.
In Halo, it like there's only like some things you can get in campaign, and then everything else you have to pay for.
Yep.
And like little default stuff they don't even give you, like just default colors.
Yep.
Like, why don't you give us like RGB or something? You know,
Like
like
color wheel. Let us pick
yeah,
stuff. Yep. Yep.
give it, and then charge it create extra stuff for like chromed out green or like electric yellow. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yep. No, I hear you.
Call
Like,
Call of Duty kind of does it like that too. Like I don't know. Like it's just weird how Halo did some of the stuff that they've done with their game, like some of the choices they made. But yeah, I don't know. And as for other games,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But yeah,
no, I like the Sea of Thieves one, and obviously it works because you play tons of Sea of Thieves.
yeah,
You had all your free shit, but you still ended up spending some real money on some shoulder
yeah,
pets. Yeah. So
yeah. Like 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 ship parts and Sea of Thieves. Some you earn in game, like by doing stuff, by actually
mm,
playing the game, and they keep giving you more of those every couple months.
yep,
They update the game regularly. Um, they also implement a lot of shit that's free, like for you to do. Like right
yep,
now, they have these things called mysteries and adventures.
yep.
There's these two things, and like they're completely free. And but then there's other stuff that you gotta pay for, and so like I don't know, like give people choices because Halo doesn't really seem like it gives you that much choice.
No, there's no choice right now. It's pay or don't get. Yep.
Right,
Yep.
right.
I mean, they're definitely in a different environment of how to monetize a free game because it's. I don't think Microsoft is really ready to just, you know, go full boat into it yet. I think they're still trying to figure out still how to maximize profits and still put out the game. So, Sea of Thieves is their testing ground where they're able to test a lot of that stuff. They do a lot of cross promotion with other games and stuff like that
Yep.
with Sea of Thieves. I know that you can pick up, different ship skins and stuff like that from doing
Playing
other
other
activities
games.
outside of the game itself or whatever.
Do you think
And
Halo will do that?
I don't see how it would work into the world of Halo. I think it would
But
just
how does it work into the world of Sea of Thieves?
Yeah,
Like
it really doesn't.
it doesn't, but it's a open canvas that they've created for it that allows it to happen.
the Gears of War ship in Sea of Thieves is like a metal cog on the front of the ship. And it's like, where did this cog come from? This is like a pirate game. Everything's made out of wood.
Why isn't the ship sinking? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Why is this ship dipping
Front
forward?
heavy.
But I definitely think in season one they learned a lot. So I am interested to see how they incorporate what they learned from season one into season two. I know that they're talking about bringing in in-game credits into season two so that you can
earn
use
from
those
the battle
in-game credits
pass.
to within the battle pass and stuff like that. So they're making some good moves. I just they're still a long way off of really getting this moving smooth. So
Well, that's my other point, right? That like
They're learning.
that no, like the game's gonna grow. Like I feel like this is Microsoft's model.
Yep.
Release the game before it's ready, and just like we'll just keep updating it, and like until it gets to the point where it's amazing.
Hell, look at Master Chief Collection. They're still updating that now, and it
Yeah,
came
but
out
that
broken.
wasn't the intent.
But
That wasn't the intent.
It became the intent, and they
By
proved
the
that
way,
it works.
By the way, you know that I just found this out today. There's more people playing Master Chief Collection now than Halo Infinite. It dipped over.
PC or on Steam.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
I don't feel like Steam's a good judge of Xbox games.
I mean, fair. Fair.
You're talking PC people. It's entirely different. So.
I mean, but then you have a whole separate section of PC environment that's playing it off of Xbox Game Pass, so it's not getting into those Steam numbers. So
Right.
sometimes those numbers are a little distracting on what they're saying. So
yeah.
But just to get back to the battle, I mean, even Apex, the first season of Apex was a fucking disaster. Nobody thought that game was going to live, but it's going strong now after it got past the first season. So, I mean, there's hopes that Microsoft's going to make the right moves and see what 343 can shovel out. So,
well, only time will tell. All right, next up, Deranged 88 asks, why do you choose to just release your post-show chatter at the end of the show? Could you also release it as a separate podcast as well? I'd like to go back and listen to the episodes prior to April 2020 when I came on board, but the actual content is probably out of date, but your post-show stuff is gold. Thanks, love the show.
This falls on you, Derek, because you used to do, like, on those off weeks that we wouldn't have a show, you would put the best of outtake type of show. So
this just isn't going to happen because I take that snippet of the after show and I tack it on at the end of the show along with the bloopers and everything else. But like, in order for it to exist for all the shows before April 2020, I would have to go back to that source material, yank out the after show stuff, save it off, and then create a new RSS for the after.
We would start fresh.
Yeah, it would have to be like this point moving forward.
No way you couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't go back.
No,
I thought that, like, in order to do that, to make it its own separate podcast, it would need like its own everything, and like I don't know if money wise we can do that, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to create a podcast network with the Still Got Game podcast network, where we're gonna have to have multiple shows with multiple revenue streams coming into the, or even one revenue stream.
Yeah, or one, yes, maybe.
I always wondered that if we ever got on one of those like podcast network, like we talked to like one of their like managers or recruiters or whatever, and they listened to our show and they came back with us with feedback, like to try to get us to come over. I feel like they would be like honestly, guys, I do see a potential partnership involved between us. But it's not going to be for what you think it is. And it's going to be like them offering, like, we want you to do a podcast on what you did in the after show. The after show is what we want, not the gaming. I feel like that's what they do. I feel like I do agree with Deranged that it is gold, I think.
Well, all right.
I know one of their suggestions is probably lose that Selden guy from the show. So we don't want to do that.
It's like the most free flowing, risky.
It is risky, yes.
Yeah.
We end up in fights during that part sometimes.
There's no what's the word?
It's without a net.
There's no outline. There's no safety net. Yeah. It's raw.
Yep. No, that's a good suggestion. Maybe we'll think about this moving forward. I don't, because I feel like what you were saying though, it's right. Like you can't just like put up another thing like Still Got Game After Dark and it's just the after show, because then it still would need an intro and it would need
we need everything. Its own hosting, its own podcast.
Well, the hosting I already pay for, so I can host.
Like, would it be enough to support a second podcast?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're hosting twice the amount of data now, right? Yeah. I don't know. That's what I always thought was the problem. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I pay for a lot of extra hosting in case we have like more than one show a week.
Right.
But we don't. But I pay for it anyway every month. In the hopes
sometimes they're gonna have episodes a month.
I know, and I pay for that whole month and all that extra hosting. Yeah. So, all right, Deranged, that you put some planted some seeds. We'll think about it and stay tuned. All right, next up, Artisanal Panties comments. Your show started off annoying me, but something kept compelling me to keep listening. I now really look forward to it. Thank you for putting it out there.
Oh man, I want to know what it was that was annoying to her. I think I know what it is, but I just wanted it confirmed.
Are you thinking it's you?
No, no.
No.
I'm curious as well.
I think we could probably pull in a good love to hate type of crowd that, you know, at first they hate us and then they realize how cuddly and warm we are and that they want to snuggle up to us each week and have us fill their ear holes with our no, I have no fucking
now that Selden responded to that, I know exactly what she hated. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you stuck out long enough that she was able to, you know, come to enjoy us.
Yeah. I really wish it wasn't vague booked, like that she actually told us what annoyed her. But yeah, if you don't mind telling us, Artisanal Panties, let us know what was the thing that tuned you off. But somehow you stayed anyway because there was something so compelling, like Hit's bald head, my blue eyes. Who knows? But oh no, but you're a podcast listener, right? Or no? Doesn't specify. Could be either. Could be video, could be audio. So yeah, Artisanal Panties, give us some follow up on the feedback. We'll try to make the show better.
Yeah, it's always good to know, right?
Yeah. All right, and last but certainly not least, LTS asks, where do you see consoles going in the future? Sony seems to tie their hardware to a generation, while Microsoft is following Phil Spencer's PC comparisons. I am not against buying a new console every 5 to 7 years and appreciate the level playing field they offer.
Okay, I got a lot of comments with this one.
All right.
Okay, where do we see console going in the future? I feel like we've talked about this like 1,000 times. What does he mean by tie their hardware to a generation? Also, what does he mean by Phil Spencer's PC comparisons? Question mark. And what does he and when he says when he says level the playing field that they offer, like this is the first time they've level the playing field is a strong statement to say. It's more like narrowing the gap, right? Is that more appropriate? This is the closest they've narrowed the gap.
Oh no. So you're taking that from PC to console. I took that as when people play on consoles, everybody has the same hardware. So no one has extra frame rate or anything else. You thought it was
why was it different before?
No, that's what that's always been the point of consoles, is that they're always the same. But then again, you can't say that now because the Series X,
Xbox One,
Xbox Series,
Xbox One X, Xbox One S.
Yeah, none of they all play Halo, but tons of people are waiting for after the end of game, like 10 minutes longer than me.
Yeah,
like even when Tiff plays down here, because her Series X is upstairs, but she plays on a Xbox One X down here, and the game's over, and I'm getting my post game stuff, and she's still in loading screens for like the entire time until basically the next game is ready to start. So it's not really a level playing field anymore, but following Phil Spencer's
I think it's more he's referring to Phil Spencer saying that they're not going to be really new generations of consoles, but just integration iterations of the same Series X or X1 or X2.
Yeah. Oh, so that makes the Sony thing make more sense. So Sony seems to tie their hardware to a generation. Like the PS4 is different than the PS5, whereas the Xbox is just the next beefier version of the PC.
Yeah, I think that's what he was getting at. Because like Sony is almost, they're tying the hardware and the development software to a generation, whereas Xbox seems like they're heading towards more of a PC front, where like all the programming behind the scenes and everything is
It's all
going
the
to be
same.
pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
the same
Well,
going
it's the
forward,
Apple.
generation to generation.
I feel like it's the Apple model, right?
Well, why isn't it the PC model? Like, I can still go back and play King's Quest 1 if I want on a PC. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hit's right though. The consoles going into the future, I think we've hashed that out a couple 100,000 times before. I personally think consoles are going away. It's all going to be cloud streaming at some point in the future. Probably not the next generation of consoles, because I think people are still tied to hardware, just like how people are still buying discs. It's going to be a hard sell to get people to move away from that.
Yep.
But I think you're going to start. Like, I'll tell you the truth. Every time I turn on Game Pass, if I'm looking at a new game, I'm just cloud streaming it for like the first 2 hours before I download it, if I want to keep it around.
Yeah. By the way, you bought Elden Ring. What?
I did.
What the hell? I saw your status on Discord said you were playing Elden Ring, and I'm like, did somebody hack his account?
Nice.
I was like, Selden spent money on a game?
Selden only plays the free garbage shit. Yes, yeah.
I'm like, that's not on Game Pass. Like, someone must have hacked it.
He must have bought it for his kids to play. That's all I can guess. But yeah. But yeah, to wrap up Altius's question. Actually, no, you know what? Altius, you're actually kind of wrong.
Why?
Well, because there were rumors this week that that Sony was sending out dev kits for the PS5 Pro.
No.
So if there's a PS5 Pro, where does that put that in this whole thing?
You think there's another Xbox?
Like something greater than the Series X?
Yeah, Series Y.
Well, we never thought there was going to be anything better than the Xbox One, and they were like Xbox One X, boom, done.
But we already used X.
Yeah, I know. They wasted X early. Yes.
Yeah, too early.
But yeah, for Xbox One, there was the S, which was better than the vanilla, and then there was the X that was better than the S. Now we've already wasted S and X, so you got to go Z.
Do they have Xbox One Series X Pro?
Ooh.
No, Pro, maybe.
No, I don't know.
Do you think they have one? I actually never thought about this.
I didn't until the Sony stuff.
I actually didn't hear about the Sony thing at all. It was the first time hearing of it.
I'm sure they have
already. Like, people can't even buy the first one.
I know, that's the fucked up part, right?
Already, we're not even. Are we a year in? Yeah, we are, right?
Yeah, we're a year.
We're like a year and a bit.
Yeah.
So weird.
I bet you back in the Xbox studios, they have multiple better versions that they're playing around with in their dev studios and stuff like that.
Do you think they have something ready?
Well, I don't think they have anything ready for production, but I guarantee you they have one that's playable, probably behind some third level door.
Like Phil Spencer's playing on it at home.
Yeah, when they were coming out with the Series X and S, they probably had different things. It was like, well, if we put out this version, then our margin is this tiny thing. But if we put out the Series X here, our margin is much bigger. And now that hardware prices, obviously over time, things become cheaper. So maybe there is a more powerful version around the corner. So
they got one that they're slapping 3090 cards in or something like that.
This is how a household ends up with 7 consoles in a generation, because they just keep iterating and iterating. You're like, we need another one. We both need one. We need 2. Yeah. So yeah, that's
when do you think that'll stop though? Because like going back to his very first question, where do you see consoles going? I feel like it's going like the hardware is only going to get smaller. Like I feel like it's going to be like a Fire Stick into your TV, into your HDMI slot, right? And then it's going to turn into a built-in app into the TV. You know, you don't even need anything at that point. It just needs to be an app.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's
And honestly, I was surprised that you said the Pro was coming out for the PlayStation, because I would have thought PlayStation would have made a Slim before they made a Pro. But
I mean, the Pro could be slim.
Yeah. And maybe it's because the stats that they were getting beaten by from Xbox, they wanted to to hedge that gap. That's what
I
happened.
feel like the difference between the two is so minimal. Like, really? This early? Like, it's so minimal. If it was the last gen, I'd be like, yeah, like the Xbox One X was way more powerful
the Pro
than the PS Pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the other thing that's weird about it is because usually within the generation, you'll go from a crossover game that goes from the one to the X, and then they'll move to where the games are produced just strictly for the X before they start making a pro model of a console, because it's that exclusive game. Because now they're not going to program for 3 different tiers; they're only going to program for the top 2 tiers.
But see, that's the beauty of this PC model is you only have to program once, and you let the assets and the hardware scale it to whatever system it's for. As long as you provide textures that can do, like if you want to provide 8K textures and you all of a sudden make an 8K fucking Xbox, it scales to all of them. You just download the textures that are the right ones for your console. So I don't know. There's a lot to unpack there, Altius, and we have no concrete answers for you. So but if any of you have great questions like these guys in Altius, give us a call, 773-527-961, or email us at podcast@tooledplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over and what we're playing? Hit, what have you been playing this week?
So still playing Halo. I like Halo. I'm still playing it. Still do all my weekly ultimates and all that. I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves. Ending off the season. New season starts in 3 days. So we're getting ready for that. They're adding a lot of shit again. They're adding like what they're calling mini raids. Via these new things called Ghost Forts. Yeah. So looking forward to that. And then I was selected or offered an opportunity to go back on the Canadian Game Awards selection committee.
Congratulations!
Thank you. And we, for the last month, we were like picking out all the games and stuff. So there was a lot of games I needed to try out, and I absolutely fell in love with these 2 games. One that I already had installed and just never got around to it. And then the other one I found out through the selection process. And yeah, I fucking love these games. So it's Moonglow Bay and Echo Generation.
Never heard of either.
You never heard of Moonglow?
No.
Moonglow's an Xbox title. It's like it's got this cool like 8-bitty art style.
Selden must know it then.
Yeah, it's got a cool little story. It's I don't know. It's kind of
like
cute.
yeah. Both of these games are Selden shit games. I don't know. What
yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes.
No,
Echo Generations. I think I actually do. I do know that game. I think it's kind of that old school adventure type game where it's a 3/4 down look through like the 4th wall.
Yeah, like Diablo.
Okay, yeah,
kinda, right? Yeah,
it's isometric.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
that's
the
term.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but nice. So
yeah,
good
cool
games.
art style too.
I have to check them out.
Wow.
Cool.
Now you got someone to play with. Hit. Selden will play anything.
No, I don't think they're.
No, they're not multiplayer.
No. The funny thing is, like, I knew about Moonglow before from E3 or something, and when we were doing the research for Canadian games, it came up. And I was like, Moonglow's made by a Canadian studio? No. Oh yeah, apparently, yeah. It's.
I can imagine the excitement you must feel whenever anything's made by a Canadian studio.
I mean, this year not to like spoil anything from it, but like, there's a lot of games that won like Game of the Year, like everywhere else, like even the Game Awards.
Yep.
Like a lot of those games are like I found out were on this list.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's crazy. Like Psychonauts 2, Inscription.
Psychonauts 2's Canadian?
Yeah. I was like, yo, and it's pretty like whoa, like Canada did really well this year. So tune into that if you want to see the awards are in April. See what wins.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
just looked up that Moonglow. Yeah, I played Moonglow Bay too also in the past.
Yeah, you definitely have. It was actually it was and still is actively pushed by Xbox as a Game Pass title. It's really cool. It's a good game.
The real
Yeah, it was
question
definitely
is,
it had a cool fishing aspect to it. I remember
Yeah,
playing that a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. So
the real question is if we had gone back to our old episodes and at one show, Selden was like, I tried out this game, Moonglow Bay, and then hits like, you dumbass! That's stupid shit! That would be the best if that was a soundbite we could pull out.
I feel like if you did talk about it and how like I wanted to play it. I feel like I don't know.
I'm sure we can
Yeah,
search
But
through our
I
outline.
totally forgot about it because when I went to go play the game for the researching, I was like, oh, this game's already installed. Like, what? How's that possible? Like, I went to the store to install it, and it's like already installed. I'm like,
nice.
and I'm like,
Who
oh,
hacked
and then
me?
when I clicked on the game, I was like, oh, this game. I never fucking actually got to try it. Anyway, I fell in love. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Well, congratulations on your selection, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's off to the judges now, and they get to
Final
try them all
say.
out. And I don't even know who's on there, but good luck, guys.
Mhm.
Selden,
All right,
what have you been
Selden.
playing?
All right. I continued my journey through the Pokemon's Legend Arceus game. Really enjoying that game. They did a really good job with it. I'm just, it's actually really well done. It's a great like in bed before I go to bed type thing. I'm playing it like a good 15, 20, 30 minutes of it, catching my Pokemon and, running around the islands and stuff like that. So having a lot of fun with that. And as hinted alluded, yes, I did pick up Elden Ring and
No, say it by its real name.
Selden Ring. I did pick up Selden Ring and I've been playing the hell out of it. Loving the game. It's really it's tough. But it's an enjoyable
so far?
tough. So no controllers thrown yet. So
Wow,
I'm good.
Wow, impressive.
There I do have a couple little gripes about it, but like there's like this functionality where you can leave messages on the land in a multiplayer thing so that people see them, and all these Timmy or all these other individuals out there in the internet are just putting messages on everything, so you see them all over the place, and it's kind of annoying. And the only other gripe I have about it
is there like Death Stranding in that aspect?
It's no, Death Stranding did it better.
I mean,
how they
sure.
left a little message. Yeah, because Death Stranding, they had little flags or little monuments that you left and stuff. These are just like, they look like glowing white script on floating rocks, and it's just real fucking annoying at some points.
And does it say anything stupid like "eat a dick"?
They're canned sentences. Like you have to pick like 2 or 3 different phrases to put together to make a sentence off your wheel and stuff like that. So they're canned messages. Like they're meant to say, "Okay, warning, boss fight ahead" or something like that. But people are just putting them everywhere. So when you're trying to talk to an NPC or something like that, all of a sudden you got like 3 messages you got to scroll through to get to talk to the NPC. The only other thing that I find is really kind of a quality of life thing that is really kind of annoying is when you're trying to buy armor and weapons in the shop, you can't compare them to what you currently have.
Oh,
so
weird.
It's Elden's, those kind of games is like very heavy stat driven. So you have all your different power levels and things like that, and all of a sudden you get like, fuck, I can't remember what the helmet I have on is, so I have to back all the way out, pull up my own inventory, look at my stats, go, okay, I got to get this, and then go back to the store and say, okay, is this better than this item or not? So it's it's one of those things that every other game seems to do, but Elden's didn't feel the need to put it in there.
That was just like the salt in the wounds. Yeah, that's how
so. But the grind is real in this game. The toughness is there. There's this one camp that I was attacking. I must have attacked it for like an hour or 2 straight, just trying to beat all the people that are in it. Kept dying at the boss end of it, and just reset all the way back to the beginning, go back in and do it again. So it's definitely a game that I'm enjoying though. So
this doesn't seem like your kind of game, Selden, but yeah.
No, it's definitely my type of game. I like these ones. So
frustration and redoing. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But other than that, no, I didn't even I don't think I launched Halo once this week, so
Wow, you're broken.
I don't know.
Really?
I'm a little broke. I'm a little broken on Halo, I think so.
No, that's
What about
terrible.
you, Derek? Did you play any Halo this week, Derek?
I did. I played 4 or 5 days of Halo this week. So, yeah, that's all I did. So, yeah,
Nothing else.
That's a lot of days of Halo.
nothing else. No. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying the shit out of it. So,
I wish there was some new maps.
maybe we'll get to that later, Hit. All right. On that, why don't we hop on over to the new releases? There's one new release out this week, and it is Gran Turismo 7 out for the PlayStation. And
Oh, really?
yeah, it comes out, it came out the 4th. So that was 3 days ago.
Wow, I haven't heard anything about that. Have you?
I
Not
don't think I've even
especially.
seen anybody streaming it. So
That can't be good.
Yeah, I'm not picking this up.
Yeah, no.
I haven't played a Gran Turismo game, I believe, since, was it Gran Turismo 3 that was out for the original PlayStation?
2.
Or the PlayStation 2, yeah, yep. So that's my time frame since the last one. Yeah, PlayStation 2, Gran Turismo 3.
If I want to play a racing game that's free, I'm gonna go boot up my Game Pass.
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'd be interested in, is to see if we can get some of the too old to drive guys or whatever their clan name was. That the racing community that we
Yeah,
used to
with
have on
Jay
there.
Cotter and all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see where they've fallen on all the racing games. Because I mean, unfortunately, you look at us. If we're going to do a racing game out of the three of us, we're going to go with the arcade. We're going to go Forza Horizon. So I'm like, I don't think neither of us are gearheads that are going to get down into wedges and inclines and.
But even
Great
looking at
power.
the screenshot that I have there, that doesn't look as good as Horizon.
No, this game didn't look good when they were announcing it, and they were trying to tout it as really the next generation of racing games on PlayStation. Like when you put that up against Forza Horizon, even back then, I was like, wow, they got a lot of work to do. And I don't think they did that much more work to push this out the door.
No, this doesn't look much better than Forza, than Gran Turismo 3 on the PlayStation 2. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. No.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty blocky in the videos that I saw early on, but I'm gonna keep an eye out, see if I can find a streamer that's playing it and see what it looks like. So, but
and no interest from me.
Yeah, no.
Nope. All right. Well, that was the only new release. So why don't we move on over into gaming news? And if you're in chat, you want us to discuss something, bring it up now, and we'll work it in. Other than that, first story. Halo Infinite's campaign co-op won't be available when Season 2 kicks off in May. What the actual fuck? So I'm not super happy about this, to be honest. I know you guys think
Wait a second, wasn't that supposed to be my story? Wait, what's going on here?
Oh, is that your story?
Oh my god, let's start over, okay?
All right.
Here we go.
All right, first story.
No, I'm kidding. It's too late.
All right. I am not happy about this at all. So
I mean, it's not even just that. There's more involved in this little announcement of theirs.
Yeah. So even with this coming in this season starting in May, which now we're talking half a year off of when the game came out.
No, let's be a little bit more precise. How many exact months would it have been?
So the game came out in
So
November.
all of December, January, February, March, April, May.
6 months.
No.
But not all of May. Only the beginning of May. So 5.5.
But if you want to be realistic, you got to go back to when they released the beta, because it didn't change much between the beta.
I'm going all the way till the middle of November. That's why I say half.
Okay.
So half of November, then all of December, all of January, all of February, all of March, all of April, and then 3 days.
Yep. And
so 5.5.
5.5 months, and that co-op campaign still won't be available until at least 2 weeks to 2 months into season 2. It's been very vague, the timeline when it
Is that what they said?
I've seen it reported both ways, and I'm not sure if it's a typo or people just speculating.
So it's
I
still
see.
coming out in season 2, just not at the beginning.
Yes. Yep.
I would say
Yeah.
halfway, the halfway mark of the
So you're saying a
season.
month and a half? Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't hold my breath. I wouldn't
How
hold my
long is
breath
a
till
season?
season 3.
Seasons are 3 months.
How do we know this? This season's not 3 months. This season's 5 months.
Well, they told us that seasons are 3 months, and this one's an exception.
Did they?
They did.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%
It was probably
sure.
in that timeline they were going to put out in January.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that. So, yeah, this is disappointing news. I think hits beating around the bush.
There's more to it though. Like they announced that co-op was going to come out at the halfway point of season 2. It wasn't ready yet, which is like, what the fuck is taking so long? 2, they also released
Two new
said that they're
maps.
gonna 2 new maps, one for arena, one for big
For
team
Big Team
battle.
Battle. Terrible.
And what else? What else did they announce?
No Forge.
No Forge.
No Forge. Confirmed that there's no Forge until season 3.
Yeah.
Which we already heard the rumor on that one.
Yeah.
If anything, they just could really confirm that. Yeah, confirm that basically. What else?
No new solo campaign
Content? Did you expect that?
I mean,
though?
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either. No.
I was hoping that they would announce that they're going to have a level select.
Oh
that
my
you can go
god,
back to the
they
campaign
didn't mention
and
that.
choose which
Yeah.
chapter.
Mhm.
No.
Oh, here,
none of
I
that.
wrote it down. Co-op campaigns like Forge in season 3, 2 new maps. Oh, and the season 2 is called Lone Wolves.
Oh,
That's
yes,
what
it's
they
called
mean.
Lone Wolves. That's a weird thing to call a season, right?
Yeah, because everyone that's playing this game is now playing alone because all their friends left and they're the only one standing. That's being called Lone Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, this announcement packs so much annoyance.
It's like, dude, 2 maps, 6 months into the game, like
Yeah.
we at the 3-month mark with Halo 3, we got our first DLC pack,
Yep.
and then 3 months after that was the
We got
second DLC map.
Yeah.
And how many maps were in those DLC packs? 3?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, like what are they fucking doing over there, man? This game is drowning. People are screaming that they want content, and they're like, 2 maps.
Mm.
It's taking it. This is what I meant earlier when I said this game needed another fucking year in the oven.
Yeah.
This game wasn't ready.
Well, see, at least for you, it really is 2 maps. For me, a guy that would never play BTB, it's 1 map. Doesn't count.
See, I play a lot of BTB, so I
hate BTB.
sometimes I play BTB by myself. Like, I mean, technically, I play a lot of Halo by myself nowadays because all my friends are left. But I play everything. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm the competitive guy. Like, I could care less about big team battles when it comes to competitive, but
I hate BTB.
still 2 maps. But like, fuck, man, like. What's taking so long? What are they doing? What are they doing over there? Also, let me take the next story because it's tied to this, so
you
we're still talking
right
about
into it. Yeah, go right ahead.
Next story, which could be a lead into like what's happening over there, is Halo Infinite multiplayer lead departs 343 Industries, and this is coming out of game developer. This isn't even a.
They used to be.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
GamesIndustry.biz. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The news comes around 3 months after Halo Infinite launched. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I guess.
Technically, yeah.
Andrew Witz has departed 343 after 3 years. He broke the news on social media. And he's citing that he needed to relax and recharge.
Maybe he got fired.
It was one of those. So you can either quit or you're getting fired today.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't even think about that he got fired because I felt like he left. But that because it leads to the main story that like a lot of people are leaving 343. Like this isn't the first one. There's a long list of people that have been leaving recently.
People have been leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And it's like, what's happening there? I don't know.
Yeah, I know it even on, I think it was the Halo Waypoint site that when I read the latest press release from them, they were like, we're trying to figure out how to balance, basically, their employees' health with getting content out to us. like, that really sounded like there's some shit going on in 343 that's not
Sound,
healthy.
sounds like they've
Yeah, but
lost
that's
control. Yeah.
that sounds like bullshit because
Yep.
how come Bungie could do it? They were releasing 3 maps every 3 months, like so a map a month. They were like, how long does it take to make a fucking map? Like, what are they doing there that's taking so long?
Even take the
that
old
they're-
fucking maps and just put them through the engine and boom.
Sure, yeah.
If you gave me 5 maps from Halo 2, 3, 4, Reach, I don't give a shit. Give me the old maps. I don't care.
If you gave me an old map, if you gave me a map pack with 3 maps every 3 months, and one of those 3 in the pack was a remake, I'd be cool with it.
I'd be
Like,
cool with 2 remakes and a freshie.
I mean, sure,
Yeah.
yeah, but like, I don't know, they're not producing anything, and it sounds like they're overworking their guys because they need to like recharge and shit. Like, overworking them on what? Like, there's nothing. You haven't made anything. Like, there's like
See,
nothing.
I read that as the other way around. I read that as their guys are working from home and they don't want to make them go back to the office.
Do you think that's what it is?
That's kind of what
Relax and recharge.
I'm getting. Because at home, you don't know how hard people are working. You know how hard they're working when they're in the office. You don't
But they
know
can
at
go
home.
and relax whenever they want. If they feel like going and lay down for 5 minutes, they can. They can't do that at the office.
They can
There's
also
no
go to lay
beds
down.
there.
They can also go lay down for 5 hours. That's the.
I mean, I guess.
I
but
know
then
everybody
they
sugarcoated this working from home shit, but it's over. Like, let's get back to the real world here, kids. Let's do our jobs.
I didn't really like that. That's interesting that you did.
Yeah, that's because I see this every day. I see pushback and people not liking going back to work. So it is what it is.
It's got to be a mess over there, and I just hope they get their shit figured out, because at this point, I think I went off on it in our Discord. I'm like, they just need to cut ties with 343 and hand Halo off to somebody else at this point. Like,
Wow. That's
Who
a pretty
though?
strong
They're a
statement,
first
yeah.
party. They're a
Yeah,
first party
yeah,
studio. Who are they gonna give it to? See,
Nah.
Rare?
Yeah. Yeah, no. You need
Can you
them.
imagine? Oh my god, that would be awesome. There'd be a lot of sword
Mm.
fighting. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't even know what this VUM today in fucking chat is, but some bot posted it last week, and then someone just posted it right now. Like,
yeah.
no one even knows what that shit is. Get the hell out of here.
That only happens on YouTube because they suck.
Block user on YouTube. Done.
Yeah, I'm worried about Halo. This is not good. Like, are they trolling us when they call it Lone Wolves? Is that like a troll on their part?
I don't know.
Wasn't there a playlist back in Halo 2 called
It was the
Lone Wolves
good
that
one
was all
that you could play by yourself. Yeah.
you play by yourself? It was 8 people tops, and it was the small maps. You'd run
Free
around.
for all.
and-
Yep.
Yeah.
Wasn't it called Rumble?
No, that was called Lone Wolves. It was Rumble before that.
Say
But-
so.
But if they're not releasing small maps, how you got what? You got 4 maps you're going to rotate through, because they're probably going to pull one because it's too big.
Yeah, you can't do Behemoth. You can't do the one in the hangar where they throw you tanks sometimes. So you're stuck with even the one with streets is too big. Whatever the hell that one's called. Yeah, there's
No,
not.
man, they're fucked.
Yeah, none of this is good news. No,
It sucks, man. It sucks. Halo's such a good game. Like, it has so much potential.
I'm still
really
enjoying it.
being
I just
poorly
wish it would be
managed.
better. Yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying it to a degree. If you would have watched any of my streams this week, I forget, I don't even know. I think I streamed once a week. Very frustrated with that ultimate. The weekly ultimate.
Oh, I'm always frustrated with
So
Weekend.
super annoying, man.
It's some dumb fucking thing that you don't even care about, and they make you do something super exceptionally stupid for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, this isn't fun. Like, some of my friends were listening to me when I was playing, and they were like, they're like, it sounds like you're having a blast.
No, I just stopped going for the ultimate. It's like, oh, you need X amount of Warthog kills. You need X amount of.
Well, this last week's or this week because we're still in it. It was win 2 games of total control.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And it was like you can only get total control in big team battle.
Yep.
So they're forcing you to play a game type that play this you may not want to play, like you, right?
Yep.
I don't mind, so whatever. I went in there, and then you have to hope that you randomly
get in a team
that game type. No, just that.
First the game type. Yep, and then
you
get a team.
Hope that you're on a competent team that knows what the fuck they're doing, which is super hard because when you increase the number of people in a match,
more of them are incompetent.
Yeah. Everyone's doing their own fucking thing. Billy's off in a corner looking at the butterflies. I'm screaming, "Somebody protect the flag!"
Some other guy's just playing Team Slayer, just killing people,
waiting for vehicles off in the side. Fuck.
Nobody has a mic on, right?
And
nobody has a mic. Yes. Yep.
No one's got a mic.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
All right. 343, get your act together. Next story, Selden.
All right. Activision Blizzard, Epic Games, and Take-Two halt sales to Russia. Looks like also we have Microsoft, Nintendo eShop, and CD Projekt Red, and probably more that are jumping on this.
Yeah, this was tough to work on the outline today. They just kept coming in, and I just kept tacking them on after.
So with everything going on in the world over there, it's a fucked up place right now, and all these sanctions that are going on, and it's good to see that the people are calling out for the assholishness that's going on, and trying to take their little hit at the people to help them. Yeah.
Throwing that other story, it's the tie-in. It's
the other story is
EA is removing Russian and Belarus teams from FIFA and NHL games. Like this is another sanction based.
Yes.
Yeah, against Russia.
Yeah. These are unprecedented times. Like it's not often that someone goes and invades their neighbor nation. I'm sure there's some shits out there that think this is cool, but I feel like the whole world basically is standing with Ukraine, including lots of people in Russia, including Russian soldiers who have been like, yeah, they're sending guys to assassinate you, go be careful. I like how because we can't use military efforts on this without starting World War III, we're using these alternate routes of, hey, turn off Netflix, turn off this, turn off that, and eventually.
I mean, it's the equivalent of flying over and dropping flyers back in the earlier World War II days. It's basically saying, hey, we know that you don't want to be doing this shit. Your government's making you do this shit. Maybe you should speak up against your government and let them know that
you're not into this.
Up.
Yep. It's good to see that companies are stepping up, and for the ones that aren't, it's good to see that, like, even when they're called out by their peers, they're like, no, we're kind of assholes, and that's the kind of stuff that gets remembered after the fact. So for those companies that did not follow suit, yeah, it'll be remembered, you fucks. So
yeah, even wargaming.net, the World of Tanks people, one of their higher ups, at some point early on commended or was congratulating Russia on taking this, and they pretty much instantly fired him and then backtracked, and they're like, yeah, this is not the vision of what Wargaming, because Wargaming was originally a Russian company, but they moved to Crete or somewhere, one of the islands down there, and they've been out of Russia for a bunch of years. So
Thank Island.
Yeah, we used to go to all their parties all the time. Jay and I loved wargaming, but yeah, they definitely had a heavy Russian influence. So, and it's tough. Those people in Russia, you either go one way or the other, and you stand with the good or you stand with the bad. But I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that we here at Still Got Game stand with Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I'm shaking my head for those that We're listening to the podcast version.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I didn't want to say too much in case Russia's listening.
All right, next story. Keyboard and mouse support is coming to Microsoft's Xbox Cloud gaming service. So, as this thing gets more and more toned and badass, now you could use a keyboard and mouse and a shit PC to stream games, PC level games that support keyboard and mouse through Microsoft's xCloud. This seems to be a game changer. This is someone that with an underpowered PC that can now stream Xbox Series X level graphics in real time and still play with a keyboard and mouse.
One could say that it could be leveling the playing field.
Oh no, this is moving forward on the battlefield.
Yeah, no, but I think this is a step in the right direction. So this makes it more of a value add for PC folks, because those PC folks. Whoa, there's my
lost your video, man. I was just about to say you froze.
Oh, I'm gonna fix this as we go. Don't worry. It makes it much more of a value add for the PC folks that now have kind of this extra thing going for them, where now they can play games that are outside of their PC's quality level. So
yeah, it's kind of cool that they have that option.
Yeah.
If you have an old computer, throw it out, throw Game Pass on it.
Yep.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Yep. All right, next story.
I'll take the next one, I guess. Bungie will ban Destiny 2 players who run the game on a Steam Deck. This is coming from Engadget. I heard about this a couple days ago. You'll need to load Windows on the handheld to play. So I think this goes back to when Destiny 2 came out and they were warning streamers hey, if you stream stuff by capturing the game window, we will ban you. So don't do that. And if you want to stream the game, get a capture card. I think it has to go back with that, because I don't know if the Steam Deck lets you run G engine stuff. So I think that's why. I think that's why you need to install Windows or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just laughing. I'm like, this is so weird.
At first reading that, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? But yeah, you're right. Maybe their anti-cheat software or whatever that they're running is dependent on the Windows environment. And if Steam Deck's bypassing that, then
no, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because it uses some like a Linux system or something. You can still install Windows. Actually, from what I've heard and read, it acts it's basically a computer. You can install Windows and stuff on it.
Yeah, and I think the article even says you can play it as long as you've installed Windows on the Steam Deck. So
yeah, but at that point you're playing the PC version on your Steam Deck. So does it run as optimally as it would, as a Steam Deck compatible game? I don't know.
Probably not. Mm.
Plus, I'm not playing Destiny on a handheld.
No.
Right?
No. Believe me, I tried playing Halo from the fucking backbone. And on cloud streaming, it's not easy. No.
Yeah, because your field of vision is, you can see everything, but it's just your reticle for targeting is so much smaller. Everything's smaller. It's really hard to key in on that.
All right. Anyone?
So yeah, I don't know. That's sorry, I took that story, but I found that interesting because I'm thinking about getting one. I have one reserved, so.
Oh, you still do? Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows when it'll come up here? They say end of Q2 for us. Maybe they're like maybe end of Q2.
Yeah, I feel like that maybe's a real maybe. Like,
Yeah. I feel like it's Q3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't put my name in a list for any of them. So, all right. Anybody
Yeah.
want any of these other stories, or are we just gonna wrap it up?
We'll just throw this out real quick. The SEC widens investigation into Activision Blizzard misconduct handling. This whole acquisition and misconduct and unionization, this is really becoming a shit show of a circus. Like this is
Yeah.
really getting bad. I can't imagine what the environment is on the golden over there at Activision Blizzard right now. I'm like, at first they're probably like, yeah, we're gonna get our, bought out, we're gonna be fine, and then all these accusations and the union things coming up, and they're like, oh, fuck.
And there's like, you didn't disclose this as part of the acquisition information, and
yeah. So only this 68.7 billion may be negotiated down by the time Microsoft gets around to buying them, if certain things come out and that weren't disclosed, as you said. So it's going to be a long haul, I think, before this acquisition actually takes place, and I think it's probably going to be just almost as long for this whole investigation to pan out and see where the cards fall. So
yeah, hopefully this doesn't fuck up the acquisition. But a couple bad actors, and who knows. All right. So no one wants the last story, so we'll move on. So if any of you have stories you want us to talk about next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com, and we'll try to work them in the show next week. And sponsors, if we had them, we'd pimp them. Especially, you know who you are, sponsors. Come reach out. We'll hook you up next week. But if we had them, we'd pimp them. We don't, so we won't. But if you want to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com. And we'll come to an arrangement. Beneficial for you, beneficial for us. Twitter us up. You can find everything Told Player at twitter.com/tooledplay. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/tooledplay. That is where all we fucking our presence on Facebook is. So go there, follow the page. All of our news stories go there. All of our shows go there. So it's a good central location for you to follow. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/tooledplay. That's the VOD of Tool to Play. It's where all of our archive video content goes, whether it's Hits Quick Hits, Selden's Glorious Cams, Tiff's Immature Interviews, Thick and Thin with LB and Duty, sometimes featuring i6 Hitman, or episodes of this show. So go to youtube.com/tooledplay and subscribe there and get access to all of that instantly. Thousands of hours of content.
You mean Raj, right?
Oh, sorry. Raj. Yes, yeah. The artist formerly known as Roger Hitman Roken, Raj. Yes.
Yeah.
Please rate. He's going to come up with a symbol to mean his new name soon. So please rate and review the podcast in iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. And if you have a couple extra seconds to write something like Raj, but you might not be able to write Raj because it's a symbol that now is not supported by the ANSI keyboard standard, but you can spell it phonetically. If you have to be like Raj is great on the show. We also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's one of the many places we broadcast this show live every week. So go there and follow us there. We have a Discord where everybody chats all day long, especially Selden. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. I repeat, that is discord.me/stillgotgame. Join the Discord and join in our Discord and conversation and love. So yeah, do it up. Other than that, what do you got you want to pimp out?
Yeah, so if you're looking for me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, just go to my LinkedIn at LinkedIn / sorry,
not LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
What is this, business all of a sudden?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Linktree / i6 Hitman.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for the LinkedIn thing. That would have been awkward.
Sending people to your work stuff.
Well, do you have your selection to the Canadian gaming thing on your link tree or your LinkedIn?
No, I don't actually.
Well,
That would be something on your LinkedIn you might want to put.
Yeah,
Professional.
actually.
All right, for me, you can find me on Linktree at /Selden007. All my links are there to my YouTube, my Twitch, my Instagram, and Facebook, and all that other stuff. So, yeah, definitely hit me up there if you're looking for me. I'm going to be streaming probably a lot more Elden Scrolls or Selden Scrolls or Selden Rings or whatever the hell I'm playing. So,
he almost knows
hit
the
me
name
up
of
on
the game.
Twitch.
Yes.
How about you, Derek?
Well, I am at Linktree at /Derek Nolan. That's where you can find all of my stuff: Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, it's all there. As well as all the previously mentioned show stuff. So in case you weren't fully listening, you go to my Linktree and you get to all of them in one concise spot. All right, and I guess on that, I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool-to-play, facebook.com/tool-to-play, and twitch.tv/still_got_game. And on that, why don't we wrap this second Three Dudes episode in a row up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I'm Raj. Call me Hit.
And I am Chris Selden007 Selden.
And we'll Raj you next week.
Raj.
Raj.